Welcome in to another edition of Big Guy Sports.
We're back.
Yes, no more episode numbers. We're just going right for as much content as we can.
227. Here
This
we
is
go.
going to be our Week 1 NFL recap. We will be talking Rodgers. We got Hopkins, Russ Cooks, finally. And, of course, we will probably be talking about our two very bad football teams that we cheer on every Sunday. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll give a little recap of kind of what we saw, like little standouts here and there. Some of the guys on the new team. Not going to go over every single game individually because that's boring and nobody wants to do that.
facts.
But we're definitely going to get into it a little bit here for you guys. Going to try and keep coming out with. We're definitely going to do week reviews of the NFL season the whole time, like we said last time, and it's going to be fun. We'd like to thank our sponsors again. They suck, but. Well, those marketing Clean Juice and Hoffman Auto Body kicking in nothing this week, so maybe next week we'll get another $1 or so from them.
Hopefully we stumble
on
upon a
my
sponsor.
computer.
Hopefully we stumble upon one with
I
one.
think I'm going to look for new sponsors here coming in a new week. But if you're ready for Week 1 recap and Big Guy Sports Big Bear Fantasy League recap, let's rock.
So, Mitch, the first thing I wanted to bring up, because it was one of the first games of the day, is someone that we both love, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns against the Vikings' depleted secondary. I just kind of wanted to talk about how, I mean, he looks rejuvenated.
I'm just going to say this. I mean, you cannot physically develop that guy's arm. I don't care what you can do. There's great quarterbacks in the league, Russell, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees. The ability for him to be able to go outside the pocket, he made that throw to Devontae Adams in the corner of the end zone, and I mean, like, there's nothing you can do about that. Like, literally, I mean, you could spy something. You can put a spy on Adams. You can spy Rodgers to blitz him or something. I don't even know. He's going to make those throws, and there's just nothing you can do. He looks incredible. Jordan Love, sorry, pal, you're going to wait 10 more years before it's your shot to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Packers roll. I mean, But the score, like I said, score did not indicate that game. It was a domination from snap one to clock at 0. I mean, Kirk Cousins had 31 passing yards at halftime. So, got Aaron Rodgers. He's back. Devontae Adams, he's back. They're going to go.
Yep. Do you have anything you want to start off with? Anything that jumped out to you? I mean, that was the first thing that came to my head when I thought about Week 1.
Was Rodgers?
Yeah. Rodgers and Russ cooking.
If we're going to talk Week 1, like, got to shout out my boy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kansas City Chiefs taking care of business. That game was shit. Bill O'Brien, that small pair body he's got. And Deshaun Watson, I mean, he salvaged it with that rushing touchdown fantasy-wise. But their offense looked okay. David Johnson, it looked good to see him run the ball. He looked pretty good. But, man, that Chiefs offense is now you're going to have to account for Clyde. And Clyde he's literally Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah.
But hopefully he has a longer career. And, I mean, he was running the ball with authority. At first, they weren't really giving him the ball very much. They were like Darrell Williams was getting handoffs too. But then Clyde was like 7 yards a carry. Yeah. And their offensive line was dominating. Like, Clyde looked great. He made that safety just absolutely get juked out of his shoes. Yep. One thing I loved personally, just from a fantasy standpoint and being a fantasy owner of Clyde, can't argue with 20 points. But the offensive line just not knowing how to block when it came to the goal line. J.J. Watt was just their entire dad. Only on the goal line, though. Every other time Clyde got the ball, he was dominating.
Yeah, he led the NFL last week in, goal line carries with 6, which was more than Le'Veon Bell had all of last year. I saw that stat.
Yep. We'll talk about the Jets here in a sec. But, so that stood out to me. Seeing Clyde, that was awesome. He's fun to watch, man. He's a good little player, so excited about that.
One other thing, Jonathan Taylor, I mean – the backfield's his. Yeah, Marlon Mack torn Achilles. I mean, it's his backfield. It's his to roam, his to wow everybody. I mean, this is what everyone asked for. I mean,
literally. Granted, Marlon Mack is a great running back, but Jonathan Taylor, I think everybody knows, is the future of Indianapolis, with Mack or without. Yeah. But now it's just like, here you go, buddy, go get it.
Yep.
But before we move on, shout out Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew, the
Gardner
man
Minshew.
himself.
I
I
haven't.
think me and you have kind of both been. We agree that I don't know why people are like he's not okay. He's a competent quarterback. He's a good player. He
Yeah.
knows how to throw the football.
I mean, he's
Like,
not going to do anything outstanding for
he's
you.
not going to burn you with his wheels, and he's probably not going to throw a 75-yard touchdown pass. But
no.
he's going to make the throws he needs to make. I mean, last year, 22 touchdowns as a rookie to like 10 interceptions.
Yeah.
Like a good player.
Yeah, a little under 500 rushing yards too. I mean, he can scoot a little bit. I mean, but 19 of 20 with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the only player ever.
I mean, he's better than a lot of people think, and I've said it before. I don't think that the Jaguars should take a quarterback. I think they have their quarterback of the future with Gardner.
I agree, and I Gardner Minshew is one of a very small amount of people that if I'm with my girlfriend in public, I don't want him to see her because she's gonna get taken. So because Gardner Minshew is
a jacked cowboy that looks good in jorts and can sling the pigskin.
Exactly. I mean, tell me what else you want out of your starting quarterback, Doug Marrone. Figure it out. Let's go.
Good for Minshew though. Seriously, I mean, with
Jags are winning 7 games.
Yeah, they've been shipping away everything they can to tank, and Minshew says, "No, this is not happening."
I think a lot of our week 1 recap too, obviously outside of the standouts, is going to be a lot of our fantasy talk too, based off our fantasy players and stuff too. But that's why I brought up Jacksonville. Another standout, not really standout, but something kind of crazy to see was the Patriots. That offense looks a lot different. Cam Newton, 15 rush attempts, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He did spike that ball, and it went 27 feet in the air. So something's going on in Foxborough. That turf's a little bouncy. But that was interesting to see for sure. I mean, last year, I think, 15 rush attempts is probably more than Tom Brady had the entire year last year.
Probably.
So it's definitely crazy to see, like, the difference that they're doing with Cam Newton, a little bit more versatile. Yep. It'll be interesting to see how he throws it because didn't really throw very much. So
yeah. Another thing, the Ravens. I don't really know whether it was the Ravens just being way, way better than the Browns, or if the Browns are just really that bad. I don't know if the Ravens are really, you know what I mean? I mean, I think it was Baker's first pass was a pick. I mean,
probably.
It was.
What else? I mean, if you're a Browns fan, what else could you ask for? Like, literally, Baker Mayfield has everything he needs to be a MVP. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. Defense has Myles Garrett. Like, I don't understand why they suck.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should give them a couple more weeks, and then if it's bad, I mean, Thursday night they're in prime time against Joey Big Dick Burrow. So I mean, if they lose that game, then we got some problems. But I don't know.
Lamar did his thing.
I mean, 27 FPs, but it was light work. I mean, you felt
he cruised. They cruised to that.
Literally.
You're a J.K. Dobbins owner. I mean, you got to be a little bit encouraged. He got the goal line work there.
Yep.
That's good to see.
Unless you're a Mark Ingram owner.
Yeah, his 29 yards is tough. But translating over, like you said, was I don't know. It was definitely rookie-ish. If you saw Joe Burrow. Couple plays there. The one where he directly pitched it to Melvin Ingram.
That was very bad. That was bad. I don't know what he was thinking there. But, I mean, one thing that was promising was the fact that he did give his team a chance to win the game or tie the game. I mean, he drove down the field, marched down the field against a very competent defense.
Bullshit
and
call.
And then Bullock didn't know which calf that he hurt.
Yeah, no.
Post-game, he was like, it was my right, but it shows him holding his left. Very confusing.
I've heard it gets pretty confusing at times. I'm going to go ahead and say, NFL referees, let's figure it out. There are some soft penalties being called. Joe Burrow should have thrown that touchdown to A.J. Green. Jalen Ramsey on Michael Gallup.
Very rough.
Last night's game against Denver, I'm not going to lie, the linebacker should not have gotten thrown out of the game for that.
He did throw the fucking LeGarrette Blount punch.
Yeah, but the Bronco guy was pushing him past the whistle and shit. Like, I don't even know. But another little recap, Bucks Saints, the battle of everybody kind of thought what was going to be like, the showdown. Tampa Bay put on an absolute clinic on drive 1 and then forgot how to play football.
Yeah, it didn't look too hot afterwards. Everyone was sucking Tommy off after that first drive, and he spiked that thing like 27 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And then after that drive, it was kind
Yeah.
of
And
cool.
I'm not going to lie, the Saints didn't look great either. I mean,
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara did what he did do. Michael Thomas did not look good. Drew
Yeah.
Brees, but to be fair, Drew Brees completed like 30 or like 20 some passes, but it was for like 190 yards. So they
Yeah.
didn't really throw. That Bucks defense gave up what 30 points. So it was 34.
Oh, shoot. I don't remember the final score. I mean, it
I
had
think it was
to.
something like that, but it didn't look like they did that.
Yeah,
It didn't.
exactly.
It was kind of a good effort from the Bucks D. So it was interesting to see kind of Tom's breakout, I guess, and
Yeah.
I don't know, 0-1. So
Yeah. Also, shout out Josh Jacobs. I have a few shares of that guy. 3 tutties. I mean, if he could keep
Carolina
that up all
sucks, man.
year. Yeah, they do suck. I mean, he looked great. That defense, I don't know, they're gonna get torched all year long in the NFC South, man.
Yeah, and
CMC
they're
did
gonna
his
get a test
thing.
this week with the Bucks.
Yeah. I mean, CMC did his thing. DJ Moore, a little underwhelming. I mean, he did lead the team in targets, but Robbie Anderson kind of stole the show with that one big touchdown that he had.
Shout out felony Robbie Anderson. He can only go in a straight line, baby.
Kind of going into that, Mitch, I mean, it's hard
Real
to
quick,
talk.
I wanna bring one more thing up before we kind of
Okay.
dive into our teams and the
Yeah.
fantasy talk.
Okay.
Two things. Washington football team is your leader in the clubhouse for the NFC East at 1-0. Everybody is
No one
0-1.
would have ever seen that. I would have never said that.
Doug Peterson, instead of going for the field goal to tie the game, went for it on 4th down. Such a bad decision. Carson Wentz got sacked 8 times. Super, super dismal second half performance. And then shout out to the Cardinals going on the road and taking down the defending AFC champions.
Yep.
I and my roommate Levi have a bet. We have a running bet all year, and I put 10 down on the Niners to win by 10, and I lost that because obviously they lost the game, and I did not think that was going to happen. I know that offensive explosive, but Jimmy G just didn't do what he needed to do. That's that simple.
And Kyler looked really good. Really unfortunate that the last 2 snaps that he took were 2 knees that were shotgun in the shotgun, and he ruined his 100-yard game with a negative 9-yard loss on 2 snaps. So
that shouldn't count. If you're taking a knee, that shouldn't count.
Yeah, that's really rough. I mean, he had 100 yards and he finished with 91 because of 2
Imagine
shotguns.
if you had the over.
Yikes!
I think we can segue into. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'll talk about it. I hate Adam Gase with a burning passion in my chest. The Jets' offense looked. I'm not gonna lie, it looked horrible. They looked so bad. And there is nothing. Sam Donald, they say we revamped the offense. Don't know if you watched the game. Of course, I watched.
I watched it.
He was running for his life again. He is set hike. It's 2 seconds. His first read's not there because why? Because our 2 top wide receivers are 5'9", so they're not going to be able to get open right away.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing, and I hate Adam Gase. And I hate his play calling, and outside of Sam Darnold's one mistake, he really didn't play that bad. Like, there was just nothing there for him. Like, I mean, honestly, if you're Sam Darnold, I don't know what you do because I don't know how you deal with Adam Gase's play calling. We went not play action, but we went halfback dive, okay, with Le'Veon Bell. And I'm going to say this again. Le'Veon Bell is not a player you run a halfback dive with. He hesitates and he looks for holes. When the offensive line can't produce a hole, you can't run a halfback dive. So then we bring in Frank Gore and we run a halfback dive again. It's 3rd and 11. You know what we run? We run a quick screen to Chris Hogan. He gets stopped. We punt the ball. That was the first possession of the game for the New York Jets. It was absolutely it was just rough to watch. The defense, I'm not going to lie. They gave up 27 points. 27-17 was the final. Defense looked really good. They missed some tackles and stuff, but
they looked good in the second half.
Yeah, the Bills could not run the ball either. Like, the Jets D looked good there. Marcus May played really good coming out of the safety spot. 2 tackles, forced fumble. Josh Allen, a great player. He's proven everybody wrong. Still a little inaccurate with the ball. If you saw that throw in the back of the end zone, he has a problem with fumbling. He needs to figure that out. Get some stickum, dude. But No, I don't know. It's not going to get any better for the Jets because we go home against San Francisco, and then we go at Colts. Then Denver comes in, and I think we get the Chiefs. So it's going to be a wild ride. Le'Veon Bell, I was talking to my roommates. I said that he got too light and he got too muscular in the offseason. He's always been jacked, but he got even more jacked this offseason, got his body fat percentage down to 3. Now he tore his, basically, or not tore, but pulled his hamstring because he's too bound up. So that's exciting. RB1, Frank Gore. RB2, Michael P. Ryan. Offense looks legit. I don't really want to talk about this anymore because I'm getting sad. But if you know me, I'm going to ride and die with my guy. Sammy D is going to do it for us at some point. Get some help, Joe Douglas. Fire the fuck out of Adam Gase and go get Lincoln Riley because he's a quarterback whisperer and Adam Gase is not. Before I get even more upset, let's talk about the shitty Broncos.
Yeah. Just a little, just Sam Darnold. I mean, he did all he could do. I know he gets a lot of slander because he's on the Jets, but every time I looked at the computer that had the Jets game on, I saw drop, and it's just like I just feel bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Sammy D has no help.
Look, I'm not gonna. We got these new offensive line. It didn't help. It literally did not help.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's not Kansas City. Their D line sucks. All right, Broncos.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
I'm not gonna yell and scream. I did all that in my pillow last night before I went to bed. I told Mitch, guys, I was very close to going 6 feet under, just calling it quits. I left every chat I could because I was gonna. I needed some time. The last 2 years have just been, the last few years since Peyton left has just been atrocious. It's hard to just, every week you just get so excited for the games and then they do well all game long. And then the last 30 seconds just piss it away. And
I want to just show something out there. They're one of 2 teams to average under 20 points a game in the last 4 seasons. And you are joined by the Jets. So we are doing good things together.
Yeah.
You guys forced to take off.
Just Vic, he's a great defensive mind. He is a horrible head coach. He has proved to me that he doesn't know how to give an offense like just a chance to win the game. Like he wants the game to be in the defense's hands. Every single game, there's 4 minutes left. We're up 1, and then we just go 1, 2, 3. We go 3 and out, and then we give the ball to the other team with 3 minutes left to go down and kick a field goal. I've seen it time and time again. And last night, when there was 3:50 left on the clock, I knew when we punted it, it was GG's. I knew right when. And you know what sucks is we had a chance to get a first down right there, but our first round 15th overall pick, Jerry Jeudy, dropped a first down pass because he was too busy looking forward to what his next cool move was going to be. Yes, he has swift feet. He looks cool. He's a good wide receiver, but his hands, he dropped 2 first downs yesterday, 2 first down catches that really one was at the beginning of the second half. No one would have noticed it until you kind of look back. You're like, oh shit, like that was a big deal, kind of getting the drive going. In the second half, and it would have been, a 30+ yard play. And then that one was just at least getting another 2 minutes off the clock. And then just the worst part is Vic not calling any of the 3 timeouts he had. What kind of clock management was that? Did he really think that Gostkowski was going to miss yet another field goal, just a little puncheroo in? Like,
dude, that guy was bad last night. Oh my God.
He was, in fact, bad, but really, you give a guy 4 chances to make 1 field goal, he's going to do it. He's going to be a Hall of Fame kicker. He's going to be. Right?
I would think so. So many good years on the Patriots, but
regardless, I just want to say one more thing. We had so many opportunities to call timeouts, and Vic he's like, fuck it, we're gonna block it. No, No, Vic. And then he ended up finally calling a timeout and gives Locke 20 seconds to go down the field and score. Like, that's not going to happen, Vic. You have Jerry Jeudy, a rookie, and then you have Deshaun Hamilton and Patrick. Like, we're not going to get anything done on that defense with those wide receivers with 20 seconds left. We're just not. And I'm not going to take I know that you never take Sam Darnold slander. I'm not taking Drew Lock slander. He looked good last night. He was putting the ball in the money. There's one thing that I didn't think he did well was his deep ball accuracy. There was a couple times where he had a guy that was like that beat his guy and he just overthrew it. And that's that mile high air. It's just something that he's going to have to get used to. Just put a little less, but he has a live arm. And I don't know if Jerry there was too much heat on some of the passes or what, because Drew Lock does throw it very, very hard, but
no,
I'm not going to take the slander. I don't know what you thought of Drew, but I thought he looked great. He's the quarterback.
I wasn't really analyzing him, to be honest. I thought it was impressive to see Noah Fant looked really good. That's good to see for you guys. Judy's going to be fine. His footwork is impeccable. He's going to blow people off the line. He's obviously going to have to, I think he got excited. Yeah. Tough loss. Titans are a good team, and they run the shit out of Derrick Henry, man. He's just going to ground and pound. Although he didn't look super impressive, he still managed to get like 33 carries for 116 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 31.
I'm not going to lie to you. That game was very boring to watch.
No, it is. Trust me when I say this. I wasted a good 3.5 hours, but I'm used to it. It wasn't fun. We didn't do anything spectacular on offense where you're like, whoa, like that was crazy cool. But, in defense of that, when you watch the Titans play football, it's never fun. They run it down your throat. They wear you down. They have 15-play drives that last 6-7 minutes. That's why the games aren't fun.
And sometimes result in 0 points, like last night, 3 times.
Yeah, like I said, the Broncos, I don't think the Broncos will be a boring team to watch, because I think that when you're not playing the Titans, you have a team that's passing it a little bit more. Like we'll see this next week at Heinz Field, it'll be 2 teams that like to throw the ball. And I think it'll be a lot more fun matchup. Do I think we win? I'm going to say we do, but we're not going to probably, because we're going to do something stupid, and Boswell is going to kick a game winner. So
speaking of Heinz Field, let's segue before our fans don't want to hear us bitch about our teams anymore.
Yep.
Good to see Big Ben out there out rushing Saquon 9 yards to 6. Tough day for the Saquon Barkley owner.
Saquon has no help. That's all I'm going to say. Saquon has no help.
They're lost cause.
Yep.
Although it was good to see Juju back healthy, Big Ben back healthy. They looked good together, man. James Conner sprained ankle. He's looking to come back. But Deontay Johnson is at number 2. Looked good outside of that muff punny at the beginning of the game. Yep. Defense looked legit. T.J. Watt said, "What's up?" and jumped up and picked that ball off.
He's going to win defensive player.
Daniel Jones, I want to know if I didn't look this up. I should have. Both of his interceptions came to defensive linemen. I don't know how many times that happens in a game. I feel like it's very rare.
He is something special. He
looked okay. He made a couple mistakes. Young guys do that. That mistake he threw the pick to Casey Hayward, or Cam Hayward, maybe. Casey? Cam. I don't know. That was a horrible play. I don't know what he was trying to do there. But on the Giants side of things, like we said, Saquon, no help. Darius Slayton looked good, though. 105, 2 touchdowns.
Evan Ingram, dud.
Okay. They're going to struggle, just like bad teams struggle. It's that simple. You don't really get lucky. But Steelers, hey, they look good, man. That defense is legit. Big Ben and Juju can keep connecting. Who knows what they can do?
And so kind of going into our Big Bear League. Those of you that made it to that side of the video, I believe I went 3-1 because my cousin could not pull it off against Drew, even though Drew only scored 109 fantasy points. And he just a bad week. Just a bad week.
Well, his running back selection is tough.
Yeah, I think did you get all of them? I think you went.
I went 4-0. Yeah.
Yep.
Big time performance.
Mitch squeaked one out. Actually, no, you beat him pretty good.
No, I won by like 30.
Yeah.
It looked like it squeaked up but I had 4 guys go last night that kind of put me over the top.
Yeah.
Recent trade from in our league.
Yeah. I ended up winning by 40 to Duncan. It was a good Duncan would have beat a lot of the league. I just had a couple big
Coby had a big-time performance. CMC getting in the end zone twice. Obviously, that's usual. But Josh Jacobs with 3 touchdowns was just masterful. And there's nothing you can do. If you're Dunk, you sit there and you tip your hat and you say, eat a dick.
And Mitch, like Mitch just said, there was a trade today. Mitch, would you like to explain the trade? You were the one that was in it.
I traded with the Pulsinators. That is Drew Zamuda. I sent him Derrick Henry, Robert Woods, and J.K. Dobbins. And I received Nick Chubb, Chris Godwin, and Jerry Jeudy. Now, some people say, why would you do that? I in my head, I think that Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry are relatively the same. They both are very run dominant, and obviously Derrick Henry's going to score a little bit more points because he's kind of the main man there, but I think Nick Chubb's a great back. But I think that Chris Godwin is head and shoulders above Robert Woods. I don't think that's close. He's going to score more points. And I think it's kind of a Dobbins. If Dobbins gets the goal line touches, that'll be okay. But for me, I just wanted to strengthen the wide receivers a little bit because my running back depth is pretty good. So now I get to rock Kenny Golladay, Odell, and Chris Godwin for my wideouts. So pretty happy with it.
Yep. I probably will not be making any trades soon. I've tried to find the holes. I would need a couple more weeks to see where my holes in my fantasy team. I'm sure they will become.
You can go look at Mike Oxnard. Brendan Duncan's looking for a running back, so he's in the market for one if you want to offer something up to him.
Yeah, Ante is also in the trade market for a running back, but I don't.
He also wants to give up. If anybody wants Evan Ingram, go get him.
He does not have a solid RB2, and that will kind of hurt him this week. I do know that you have Wentz against the Rams, and that could be a big game. And you have Mostert against the Jets. So also.
All right, and you have in week 2, we're gonna go. Show me your TDs, Caden Hollow versus Mike Oxnard, Brendan Duncan. Just from looking at it, like you said, I haven't really dived into it. I'm going to go ahead and take show me your TDs because his wideout situation and running back situation is going to carry him a little bit farther than Brendan Duncan's RB2 is Tariq Cohen so far. So I'm going to go Caden Hollow over Brendan Duncan for week 2.
I will also take Caden over Brendan. Tannehill against the Jags and Breeze against the Raiders alone will dominate, and then the rest of his matchups, Devontae Adams will carve that secondary against the Lions. So, yep.
Week 2 matchup, we have round 3, the Pulsinators versus John Felterbush. I am going to take the Pulsinators in this one due to that recent trade. Drew now bolsters the running back spot and gets a better flex. And Tyler is still stuck looking for a running back situation. And Allen Robinson might not play football. So,
yeah, that would be rough. I will also. I know I hate agreeing, but Pulsinators I will also take. I think that trade really bolsters his lineup, as you said, and Le'Veon Bell kicks him out and puts Derrick Henry in. I think that's a good.
Yeah.
I think that I'd say that's a pretty good upgrade.
Yeah.
Do we want
next matchup? We have Jack Mehoff versus Indianapolis Holtz.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Jack Mehoff wins. That is me. I
am going to have to agree because, well, you're running backs and you're looking to get Miles Sanders back in the lineup, and if he's healthy, it's going to bolster. It's going to be a good fight though because Jonathan Taylor is now going to take over duties. He's got Kamara. And Julio and Thielen look great. So it's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to go Jack Mehoff there.
We'll barely squeak it out. And then
last matchup of the week, we have No Romo versus Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to go No Romo. His team is very good.
I don't need to look at No Romo's team either. I'm going to have to say Pittsburgh's going to start off 0-2 and looking to maybe repeat as the shitter of the league. That will be it, guys, for this episode.
Quick one. Me and Coby are both super busy. School starting up, and up here in Spokane, our weather sucks due to the smoke. We're not allowed to go to school, so everything is being jam-packed online. Homework out the wazoo. Week 1 recap in the books. Look for us. We're going to try and get 1 to 2 episodes out a week. Definitely a recap episode a week, but let us know what you think. We love it.
Hey, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.